Hello YouTube. This is going to be a little bit different video than what maybe has been uploaded recently. Hold on, let me get my camera straightened up a little bit better. Alright. This is going to be hopefully maybe a helpful or how-to video for putting. I was thinking about doing one, I don't know, a couple weeks ago and just kind of didn't get around to it, and then had a few comments recently asking about maybe a putting technique or tutorial. So rather than go down the rabbit hole of more controllers and settings and whatever else, we'll do a maybe a quick helpful video. I think this is just like a short little par 3 course, like a pitch and putt, but we'll kind of go through it a little bit. And I think as we go through, you'll kind of start to pick up on just what I'm doing. Now, in full disclosure, I did not come up with this method whatsoever. There's a couple variations of it. I think Suicidal Bot has one. Psy has one. A few others had their own spin on it, but it's the same bones, it's the same foundation, and we all kind of do it a little bit differently. Also, full disclosure, it's not 100% accurate, but it is like the thing that I believe in it the most for is in my mind, you have to have a system where if you just go through it with just feel the whole time, some days you'll feel it very well. Other days you'll be off by, depending on speed and break, or you'll be off by a couple cups. So at least if I know I have a system, that's something I can rely on, and at least put me in a ballpark of where I'm pretty certain the appropriate break is. Okay. So with that being said, I've already hit a shot here on the hole one. The green speeds are just kind of a general 151s. Now, this technique, for the most part, covers all of the green speeds. All of them. There may be a little tweaking you might do on like fast downhills or slow uphills. But again, you'll get the feel of it as you do it a little bit more. So the way it works, essentially, it is a bead counting system. And by bead, I mean it is, see like the lines moving, in this case, right to left across the screen. Why am I kind of blurry? Hold on. Maybe it's the robe I'm in. You see the beads going right to left in front of the hole. The lines, the beads, they're synonymous. It means the same thing. So it is a bead counting technique, and you are counting cups. Okay? You're counting cups. So, I know it's dumb, but just in case, this obviously is a cup. This is one cup. Okay? So your starting marker always starts right in the middle. Okay, so you don't count from the edge of the cup. So like for example, let me get the middle here. So one cup is actually half a cup out, because it's one cup from the center. It's not one cup from the edge. It's not this. It is this, about. So, and obviously then this is 2, and then this is 3, and so on and so forth, okay? Also, maybe a tip. Again, it's to each their own. I don't have Green's Reader on, because with the bead counting technique, the only benefit you get from bead counting, from the Green's Reader, let's call it perk, is your grids get smaller, but your count always stays the same. Okay, so just because you upgrade your greens reader doesn't mean your putt's gonna break more accurately. It doesn't. That's not what that means. So, for example, the reason I don't have it on is because we're just going for a point of reference to make this process easier. Like, for example, what if I said, hey, The count is 7 cups. Okay. Well, what's 7 cups? You know, is it here? Is it there? You know, where's 7 cups? So I know Green's Reader, not upgraded or any of that, from the middle. So from the middle right here to the edge of the box. Okay? Middle to the edge of the box is 6. That's 6 cups. So I know if my count is 7, the only thing I have to do is go 1 cup from that grid line. That's 7. That's a count of 7. Okay? If you upgrade Green's Reader 1 time, I think it moves the grid square in about half a cup on each side. So if you upgrade it once and then upgrade it a second time, so you unlock it and then upgrade it 2 more times, then the count goes from, instead of this being 6, it turns into 4. Okay, so this line goes in 2 cups. So like your grid line would actually be right about there. So again, it's not gonna improve anything. All it's doing is it's giving you a different count of how wide that grid is based off the holes. So like I said, nothing upgraded. This is 6. Okay, that's 6. So therefore, if I know, okay, what if the count is 13? What if the count's 13? Okay, well, I know this is 6, halfway 6. So another half is another 6. So I'm going to go halfway again. And then, so that's 12. And then 1 more is 13. Right there. That's a 13 count break. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, and we'll go into what constitutes 1, 2, 3, and 4, whatever else. Okay, so also what I do is I always add 1 extra % power to all my putts, no matter what, unless it's like 203 dead downhill and there's a runoff behind the hole. I always add 1 percentage point. And if you don't have the meter on, when you go to, you know, line up your shot like this, you know, that meter does come on, you know, before you take your shot. So just for me, I always add on 1 extra percent. Some folks, they allow for faster rhythm, which will then give them obviously more power. So however you want to skin the cat. So yeah, anyway. So now, with that information, here's how the bead counting works. Okay, and we'll go through a few holes and kind of get the feel of it. Okay, so the bead at my feet always matters, always. Okay, some more than others, and hopefully we'll get an idea for that later on. But okay, so the bead at my feet is flat, 0. Okay, that's a 0, obviously. The one right in front of my ball, and this one right here. Now, this will come with some practice and some trial and error. This right here is going slow enough, it's not going to matter. If you want, maybe a quarter of a cup. But I would say no, it's not going to matter. This one here, okay? So anything green will be a half a cup or 1 cup. It kind of just depends on the speed, and you'll get the feel for that the more you do it. Okay, so half a cup or a cup. So if I'm looking at this bead right here, it's obviously moving faster than this, which is, I'm saying 0, but slower than this one. So I'm going to say it's green. It's moving slower than this one. I'm going to call this one probably half a cup. Okay, so this bead is a half a cup. And then the one in front of it is moving. It's still green. It's not yellow. It's not yellow, so it's green. I'd say this bead is 1 cup. It's a 1 cup bead. So I have 1 cup, and a half a cup, and the rest does not matter. Okay, so knowing that, also, when you do your count, you do it from your marker. You're not doing it from, you're not going to go, okay, 1.5 here, and then move it out. Because the count's wrong from that. Because you can see just playing the angles. This might be 1.5 cups here, but out here is more like 3. So you always want to do it from where the marker is or where you place the marker. Like I said, I usually do 1% more power. Okay. And then it's 1.5 cups from center. And you kind of feel this out a little bit, but you know, okay, so that's, oh, sorry, hold on. So I got half a cup, which is that. And then I got a full cup, which would be about that. Somewhere in that range. And then you just hit it and see what happens.
This putt's going.
Okay, obviously that's a pretty easy putt to read, but you get the idea, hopefully. All right, let's try to put the ball somewhere where it has a little bit more break to it. Hopefully I can find a spot. Maybe I'll put it down here somewhere. Hold on. I'll put it down here somewhere. Maybe I can get a little bit better, demonstration of a putt here. Hold on.
And a little bit of shaping here, a little fade on this shot.
All right, this is a pretty good one.
Right, you've got this
Now,
for the birdie.
now again, like I said, it's not always foolproof, but I promise you will always be very close. Very close. Okay? And this putt here, honestly, it's not a guaranteed make, even with this method. For me right now, trying to feel where this putt is, I don't have that visualization anymore. I don't. I mean, initially in my eyes when I go right here, but I don't know. I could be wrong. So again, let's go through the process again. Okay. So the bead at my feet, which constitutes the bead behind me. If I'm not on the bead, then the bead behind me will play. So you can see my ball is right in between the bead behind me and the one in front of me. Okay? So whatever the bead behind me is, in my mind, I'm going to allow for it, but I'm only going to allow for half. So that bead behind me, this one here, it's behind me. So it's going, this is probably it's a light yellow. But this one's probably a 2-cup break if I'm going this way, right? But it's behind me. So I'm going to only allow for 1 cup. Okay, the 2-cup behind me, I'm only going to allow for 1 cup. So the count's 1. And then this one here in front of me here, I'd say this is, for reference, you can always tell, okay, well, what's a 1 cup? Like this one right here is a 1-cup break for sure. Okay, because it's green, it's moving at a steady pace. But now I see this one. This one is moving faster than this one. Okay, so if I know if this one's 1, this has to be a 2. It's got to be. Because if this is 1, this is faster, it's got to be 2. Okay, so now I know I'm 1 behind me, 2 in front of me. This one's 1, so now I'm at 3. Sorry, I'm at 4. 1 behind, 2 in front. That's 3 total. This one here makes 4. Okay, so if this one's 1, what is this one doing? Moving at about the same pace. This is a little bit faster, but it's pretty similar. I'm gonna just allow this for 1. I'm gonna say this is a 1 cup. And this one here is moving a little bit slower than this. So I'm going to say this is half a cup. And this one here, again, probably half a cup. Something like that. So I have 1 behind me, 2 in front, which is 3. I'll do this. 1 behind. I'll count as I go. 3. 4. 5, 5.5. This is probably a six cup break, I think. So one behind. This makes 3 total. This makes 4 total. This makes 5 total. And I think these two together make 6. Okay. So again, what did I say earlier? Why is green reader, in my opinion, maybe not as necessary? Well, I know what 6 is. 6 is right here on that grid line. So I'm gonna add a percent to it. 59. I'm gonna go over to 6. Right there on that grid line. Again, like I said, before you pull the trigger, at least like look and see, does it make sense? Does that make sense? You know, my initial eye is when I saw the putt was about right here, but it was a little bit inside of that. But yeah, I mean, it does make sense that it's probably somewhere over here. Again, will you make it every time? No. But will you be close? Yes. Okay, let's find out.
Looks like you got a line on this. Still looking good.
That's pretty good.
And it drops.
I'm glad that went in, because if that would have missed, you'd have been like, God, this guy's full of shit. I'm glad that went in. Okay, let's find another breaking putt. I'll put it somewhere over here, just to give me a longer, more breaking putt, maybe.
There we go. Nice contact on that one.
That's what we got.
16 feet to go.
It's flat.
Downhill putt.
I mean, you see, there's nothing moving at all. Now, I'm not saying you might get a ghost break from time to time. Those things happen. But this is reading dead straight. But sometimes, like I said, you get a ghost break and you can't help that. You just can't help it.
Fantastic.
Okay, let's find something here. Where's these greens are pretty flat. So it looks like maybe long right has some break to it. Let's try long right. Trying to get it. Let's try this one. Yeah, let's just get long right and see what happens. That was not long right.
Yep, that's gonna do just nicely.
Hold on. I'm gonna put it over here where it breaks.
Will take you to 4 under.
Let me just put it over here.
It's breaking to the left. Just yeah, a little too
much.
Okay,
let's see what we got.
There. I think I'll let
here we go.
do the talking here from way out.
Again, like I said, it's not a perfect science,
uphill putt,
but
right
hear me out. A little bit longer. So let's go. Okay, so the one at my feet. Okay, I'm close enough to this grid square that the one behind me, I'm not going to worry about. Okay, if I'm halfway there, then yeah, I'll worry about it. But this one, I'm not going to worry about. Okay, so let's just go from front to back. Okay. So always try to find what a guaranteed 1 cup looks like. That way you can reference the rest of them off of it. Okay. So in my opinion, like this one here or this one here would be a good reference for a 1 cup break. Okay. Probably about both. Probably this one. Yeah, let's go this one. This is 1 cup. So I'm looking for beads that break slower or faster than this. Okay. What about the one in front of it? It's about the same speed. These two are about the same speed. Okay, so that's 1. That's a cup. What about this one? What does this one do compared to that 1 cupper? It's slower. This is faster than this. You can tell. Okay, so maybe this is a half a cup. If this is half a cup, that's half a cup. And this is nothing. Maybe a quarter of a cup, but I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so I have 0, 1/2. I'm counting as I go. 1/2, 1, 2, 3. Alright, if this is 1, this is moving faster than this one, right? At a pretty good clip. See that? It's catching it. This might be 2. maybe 1.5. I'll say this was 1.5. And these two here are about the same pace. Pretty close. Okay, so I'm gonna play those as 1.5. So I got yeah, 0, 1/2, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 5, maybe 6, 6.5, somewhere in that range. So again, I'll add a percentile point to it. I know this is 6, so I think it's somewhere here, maybe 6.5, 6.25. So see, does that make sense? It looks like that would make pretty decent sense. Okay, so I'm gonna say it's not 6, or this would be 6.5. I'm gonna say it's right about 6.25, somewhere in this range. We'll just see what. Again, you won't make these all the time, but you'll be close. Okay, let's see what we got.
Well, this one's on a line. Continues to look good. Yes! Drops it on in there.
So far, it's working very well.
And after that hole,
So far,
at
but I'd like to get like a yellow one.
Blowing left to right on this
A
one.
yellow breaking putt. Okay, good. Okay, so this has some more break to it. Excellent. And it's downhill. I wonder if I can leave this short and have like a well, I'll put it over here. But I do want to get I do want to get a yellow breaking putt to try and show that. Let me see. Stop.
Solid approach there, pin high.
Yeah, it's a yellow putt. Okay, well,
looks like this
I'll do it this way too.
To the left.
So greens are 1s, and you can adjust that by half a cup, depending on if you know what 1 looks like. And then yellows are 2. And typically with yellows, at least the way I kind of do it, once you get where it's yellow, there are no half a cups anymore. It's either 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like there's no like 2.5 cup break or 3.5 cup break. It's whole numbers. In my mind, it's in my mind. But the greens, you can do half a cups. Half a cup, 1, 1.5. But once it hits yellow, yellow or yellow, orange, red, whatever, you're starting to do only whole number cups. Okay, so for example, let's say this, like this right here. Well, this one right here is yellow, right? You see that's yellow? This would be 2 cups. This would be 2 cups. This one here is orange. You can see this is moving faster than this. You can see that. So this is 2. This even might be a 3, I don't know, but let's say this is 2. This has to be a 3, maybe even 4. Like once you get past yellow, the orange and the reds get a little bit more difficult to get a number on. So then it's maybe a little bit more feel. But again, you'll at least be in the right reference point of that's probably pretty close. Okay, so this would be like 2. This would probably be 3. This would be another 3. This would be another 3. This would be 2, but it's yellow. This is orange. And then you see what I'm saying? So let's just say the hole was right here at the fringe. Okay, so you have a bead behind me that's yellow. That's 1, because I'm cutting it in half. That's 1. This here is 2, so that'd be 3. 1, 3, 6, 9, 12. It's yellow. 14, 16, and let's just say 16. So if the hole was right here, my initial thought would be 16 cups left. So how do I do that? Okay, so I know this is 6. I know this is 12, which is halfway. And then I'm going to go 4 more. Okay, so if that's 12, I know this is 18. I'll just go 2 from that back the other way. Right about there. And I think, you know, my initial thought was if I was going to put it at that fringe point that I marked, that would look pretty close. But like I said, when you get the oranges, it gets a little bit more difficult to get. Okay, so let's go back to this one. Excuse me. Okay. So I'm close enough to the front bead. The one behind me is not going to play very much. If it was yellow, maybe I add a little bit break to it. But it's green. I'm far enough in front of it. I'm not going to worry about it. This one here is moving slow enough. Not much, if anything. This here kind of counteracts these two, or this one here. So right now, I would say this is like half a cup left. Half a cup right, so I'm 0. This is a 1. This is a very easily 1, and this is yellow. It might not come across as kind of bright. This here is yellow. Okay, and you can see if this is 1, I'm calling this 1. This is moving faster than this. So if this is 1, this has to be 2. It's almost moving twice as fast. So, if I got 0 behind me, this is 0. I may say this might be a quarter of a cup. I'm not going to worry about it. So my count would be, let's see, 0 behind, 0 in front. I think this counteracts. This is a 0, 1, 3. So my count is 3. So if I know this is lined up in the middle, and the far and the grid line over here is 6. I know 3 is just right in the middle, right about there. Right, and I look. Does it make sense? Does it look like it could be legit? Like, so I look at it. I'm visualizing the ball roll. It might go a touch right to catch that half a bead moving, and then it'll cut at the end left. Yeah, I think this is right. You make all of them like this? No, but this is going to be pretty close.
Nice putt.
All
That's
right.
your 4th birdie of the
I'll do
day.
one more. We'll do one more.
And after that, you're bringing things down to 4 under par. Now let's.
I like to get
see
one
what
with a
we
lot
can
of
do
break.
Here on the 6th.
I wonder. What does this one look like? Can I just skip this hole and go to this one? Shit. All right, this has some break to it. Okay, let me go and play this hole, and we'll get to the next one real fast. Okay.
And yet another green in regulation for you.
Half a cup
This one's 8 feet away.
right here.
Oh, yeah. 2nd consecutive birdie. I like the way this is going. Bring
All right,
things
let's
down
go.
to 5 under
This has
for
some
you.
break to it, I think.
Okay, 7th
a little bit of
hole
break.
is a par 3.
I'd like to get it. Here, I want to put it right here. Okay. Let me just do this. If I miss it, I'll just put it there on purpose.
Beautiful swing. That's a great use of the downslope
See what we
here
got.
before the green. Let's see what happens.
Okay, this is a pretty good one.
Here we're
And
dealing
we'll
with
probably end on
birdie.
this. I
And it
like
looks
to
this one's going
demonstrate a
pretty
yellow putt.
hard right to left.
I wonder maybe if I put it over here. I'll try to put it over here and see what I can do. Hold on.
Just a little
This looks
too
like a yellow
much
putt.
power. Here's a
Yeah,
17-foot
perfect.
putt.
Okay. All right.
Seems to be
So
tilting left to
this is
right.
not an easy putt. Okay. For at any skill level, this is not an easy putt. Will you make all these? No. Doing this method, will you make all these? No. But I promise you will be pretty close. And why am I still blurry? Damn it. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. So let's do the same process, okay? So at my feet, I'm in the middle of a grid square, right? So the one behind me will play. It's a yellow. This is this bead here. This is yellow. This is a yellow bead. Okay, so that would be 2, but because I'm in front of it, it's a 1. Okay, and then this right here is a yellow, moving the same pace as the one behind me. That's a 2. What about this one? Trying to read the pace of it. It looks like it's moving at about pretty much the same pace. I think the one in front of me might be a little bit faster, but not. I think this is a 2. Okay, so this one here. How's the speed look to the number 2? Looks the same. Looks the same as the number 2. So I'd say this is a 2 as well. This one here, this is more green, and it's moving slower than this. I think. No? Actually, this might... No, yeah. Yeah, okay. Sorry, that was weird. Okay, so yeah, my eyes were playing tricks on me. Yeah, this one's moving slower than this. So if this is a 2, this is a 1. So what we got? Let's count it up. So 1 behind me. I'll add it up as I go. 1 behind me. 3, 5, 7, 8. That's my count. I'll add a percent to it. Now sometimes, let me talk about this too. If you notice, you see my power meter at 59? If I want to add a percent to it, right? Sometimes, like I'm on the low end of 59. It could be like 59.1. And I have to go all the way out here to hit 60. See that? And that is a good, what, extra 2 feet? It's half a yard almost. Almost half a yard extra power. So sometimes you may not have to go all the way to the next one, but you know, it's not an exact science. Like for example, what if it said power was 58? Okay, I want to go to 59 power. I always add a percent. Well, I just have to do this. Right, I'm just moving the marker. I'm moving the marker an inch, as opposed to a foot or 2 feet. So just be aware of that. It's not an exact science, but so typically I add enough to be in maybe call it 0.5% of power. But it's a feel thing. So, but I do add power to it. Yes. So let's just say I want to go here. I don't want to go all the way out. That's a long way. Be back at the right about there. Right there. Just to give me a little extra bump. Okay. Again. Now that could make me miss the putt. I don't know. So let's go. Let's say it was 8. So 1 behind me. 3, 5, 7, 8. 8 is the count. So I know this over here is 6. For sure. And so I go 2 cups inside of this. So this is about 1. Then this is about 2. That's a 8 count. Now I look at it. Does it make sense? It looks like that could be about right. Okay? And now, this is why the method, to me, is important. Because at least if you miss the putt, 1, you're going to be very close. And 2, you know why. Oh, man, you know what? That yellow one wasn't actually a 2. It was probably more green. Or, hey, this foot bead in front of me, actually that might be a 3. So you kind of get an idea of what's what, as opposed to if I just do it on feel and I hit it. Well, why did I miss it? Did I have bad rhythm? Obviously I misread it? Why do I keep misreading it? It just gives you, I think, a little bit more of a structured technique. So let's see what happens. Again, this is not an easy putt. This is not an easy putt at all. But we know this has to be pretty damn close. Wow. Okay, so those yellows,
Setting up for the bogey
those
putt
yellows were actually more like 3, not 2. So I missed that low about a cup and a half. So those yellows, now I've got to put that in my mind if I see them again. That type, and you know, you get used to it. That type of coloration on this course
up to 4 under
is
par
now
after that
it's
one.
yeah, that's probably a
And the
3,
eighth
not
hole
a
is
2.
a par 3.
All right, we'll do one more here. Like I said, it's not an exact science, but you will be close. All right, let's put it over on the left side somewhere. Just a little pull open to get it over there.
Kick to the right.
Stay. Give me a putt over here.
Oh, that
All right,
was
good.
a nice little shot.
Ooh, this is a
there,
good one.
clearing
This is a good
the
one.
bunker
Again, not
and
an easy
sticking the
putt.
green. Good
Not an
stuff.
easy putt, but
Here we
we'll
go,
get
this one
close
for birdie.
for sure.
Looks like this one's breaking
Okay.
to the right.
So we got the bead behind me is nothing 'cause I'm too close to this one. So knowing what happened on the last hole, that this coloration right here was playing more than I thought. Where I would give this a 2. Actually, looking at this bead here, this is a 2, and this is moving faster than that. So this one has to be a 3. That's what happened on the previous hole. So I got 3, 2. This is moving slower than this. So 3, 2, 1. This is probably a 1. Although this is moving at a pretty good clip, as opposed to that. Now, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna say these two together are two cups, and then this is maybe half a cup. All right, so I got 3, 7, 8, 9. I'll say 9. I'll say 9. Does it look right? So I'll go to where I want to go. I'll add a percent. Okay, there. Let's go 9. So I know this is 6. So halfway between the midpoint of the next grid and this is 3. So excuse me. So I'm somewhere right about there. Maybe there. Something like that. Right? Now, again, do I ask, does this look like it makes sense? Yeah. It does look like it could be probably there. Alright, then we just hit it. Now, my initial thought, though, before I pull the trigger here, my initial thought is it might be a little low as I visualize this. So, it's an exercise on, do I trust my method, or do I go with my gut? Hey, it might be a little bit low. I've always been of the mindset you trust the method, because at least you never want to second guess yourself on your method, because then it's like, oh man, it's not working or whatever. I would hate to have the count right and then go with my gut and I miss it. A cup low. That's just my preference. Maybe you guys are something different, but that's just what I would prefer to do. I'll trust the system. It's served me very well recently, so I'll just keep on going with it. So does it make sense? That's 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I think it's about 9. Let's go.
Oh, look at this thing. It's still on track. Oh,
there you
yes, go. That'll go
there
down.
You go.
Nicely done. And
that's
under for
that was the perfect putt to end on, to kind of go over. It had like yellow slopes, maybe a little bit of orange, and also the previous putt before that. You can miss. I mean, like, your count can be off. You can mistake a color for something different. You can miss, but it will always be close. And if you keep utilizing that same methodology, I believe you'll make more of those. You'll make more of the difficult breakers than you would not having a system like this. Just my opinion, but to each their own. Everybody can putt differently. But hope that helps, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.